Listen up, wrestling fans. Live wrestling action returns to East Lincoln High School, Lincolnton, North Carolina tonight. Bell time 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Tickets only $10, and it's for a great cause, Wrestling for Rylo. On the card, you will see Jimmy, the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant, the Barbarian, and the legend himself, George South, along with many of North Carolina's top great young talent. Don't miss it. East Lincoln High School tonight. Bell time, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Tickets only $10 at the door, and it's for a great cause. Don't miss it. East Lincoln High School. Be there. All right, there you go. I just cut a promo. Day 2 of our Pro Wrestling Weekend. DJ Wayne here, hanging out in my man cave. I don't have a whole lot of my wrestling memorabilia up. I just simply don't have enough room because it's all covered in NASCAR and rock and roll. But last night, day 1, we got to go over to Mad Monster Expo, Concord, North Carolina, hang out with the Hardy Boys and Jerry the King Lawler. Tonight, I get to go see my old friend, the Barbarian. Get to go see Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man again and George South for a great cause. If you're anywhere in the Charlotte area, highly recommend. Come on out. East Lincoln High School off of Highway 16 on Highway 73. Bell time 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Only $10, and it's for a great cause. I hope you come out. We're going to be there. Hope to see you there. Tomorrow night, packed house, packed card, AML Wrestling, Salisbury, North Carolina, East Rowan High School. On that card, Jeff Hardy's going to be there. Jerry the King Lawler's going to be there. Arn Anderson, Brock Anderson, the former Enzo Amori, the former Dolf Zigler, and a whole lot more. It is a packed card tomorrow. Tickets for that one starting only $5 for general admission, but that's going to be a packed house. So I highly recommend. Bell time for that one tomorrow, Salisbury, North Carolina, 4 p.m. Meet and greet starts at 1:30. So if you plan on being there for AML, get there early. Get in line early. It's going to be a great night. But me, there you go for the promos. I have grown up loving pro wrestling. You know it. NASCAR is one thing, but I grew up loving music and loving pro wrestling. In the 70s, my father and my uncle used to take me to the old Charlotte Coliseum, which is now Bojangles Coliseum. We used to see pro wrestling in the 70s. I was too young to remember pretty much anything other than like Mr. Wrestling #1, Mighty Igor. The first match that I remember was in about 1977, Myrtle Beach Convention Center, Blackjack Mulligan versus Big John Studd in a chain match. Let me tell you, they beat the pure living hell out of each other. Bloody match, but at that point, I was hooked. And from there, I made some great friends that I'm still friends with today. Roy Dam, living in Las Vegas, Nevada. My good friend Randall Wallace still lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. When I joined the Navy, I got to move to Norfolk, Virginia. Here I am saying San Diego. When I joined the Navy, I went to San Diego. Then I got to go to Norfolk, Virginia. In Norfolk, Virginia, George South and the Italian Stallion used to run a training school, and they would bring those students up to the Navy bases in Virginia Beach and Norfolk, Virginia, and I would start going there, hanging out, meeting everybody, and that's kind of where I got my feet wet doing ring announcing. They would let me get in there and do it. Didn't get paid, didn't care. And when I got out of the Navy, I came back to Myrtle Beach, and there was an old circus tent, a short-lived circus right across the street from Snoopy's Magic on Ice, where the Hard Rock Park used to sit. But the circus rolled out of town after about one season, and then pro wrestling came in after that. And it was in that circus tent where I got to meet like a young Chris Jericho and some other young ones that I just can't remember their names right now. But if I told you, you would definitely remember who they were. And then we went over to the convention center. Teenage Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Shane Helms, Shannon Moore, the Rock and Roll Express, my man, the mass superstar, Bill Eadie. I am always been a heel fan. I've always pulled for the mass superstar when he was a heel. Craig the Hammer Valentine, same thing. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. they were the heels, man. That's who I was pulling for. Then I got a gig in Conway at Conway High School in the 90s and early 2000s doing ring announcing. There I got to work with the Big Boss Man, made a really good friend with the Big Boss Man, and I hated to hear when he passed away, but got to work with R-Truth and Road Dogg Jesse James and all those good guys. And because of that, and I just kept building on to it, I got invited up to Virginia, to Waynesboro, Virginia, to work with Marvin Ward and his organization there at Waynesville High School a couple of years, and we had a good time. Then we actually brought it down here to North Carolina, to Lenoir, North Carolina, to the Mulberry Rec Center. My buddy Tony Hunter, who I saw just last night with the Hardy Boys and Jerry the King Lawler, he was a part of that at Mulberry Rec Center. Man, let me tell you something, and shout out to Tony Hunter, because I have worked with promoters before. I have promoted a wrestling show. He knew how to do it right. He could pack that Mulberry Rec Center every single month. He had it. He knew how to do it. He grew up in the business. His dad was in the business. He grew up as a referee and then as a promoter. Now he kind of does talent relations where he books talent for places like Mad Monster Expo. But he did. He had it down pat, man. He did it. He ran a good show. He had a tight show at Mulberry Rec Center. But I took all that knowledge, not only just the ring announcing, but working with Marvin and with Tony. I learned the promoting side of it. And on March 5th, 2005, there you go, start to finish, I promoted this bad boy right here at the Conway High School. It says right there, Beach Bash 2005, it all begins again. Now let me see if I can cut the promo for this one. It's been a while. Beach Bash 2005 comes to the Conway High School gym on Saturday, March 5th. Bell time, 8 p.m. Fan Fest starts at 6 p.m. On the card, in a steel cage match, you will see Superfly Jimmy Snuka taking on Greg the Hammer Valentine with special guest referee, the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. For the inaugural AFE Championship, you'll see a three-way bout pitting Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin, against Buff the Stuff Bagwell and son of the Nature Boy, David Flair. In a women's match, Gail Kim, fresh off WWE, dropping the WWE Women's title, will take on Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young with a surprise guest. Also in action, you will see WWE midget wrestler Short Sleeve Sampson versus Todd Stone, the Barbarian versus the Maestro. We will also have a 20-man battle royal with the winner of the battle royal taking on whoever wins the inaugural AFE Championship. Shark Boy will be in attendance. George South will be there. We hope you will too. Saturday, March 5th. 2005 Beach Bash, Conway High School gym for the McLeod Children's Hospital. Don't miss it. Be there. Not too bad. I did it off the cuff. I didn't do any practicing, so I hope I did all right. But there you go. Had a great time. I did the whole thing start to finish, man. I did the advertising, the booking of the wrestlers, their flights, their travel, everything. And one was enough. I got to tell you, it's a lot of work. It really is. I'm going to sit down and I'll tell you a more in-depth story about the whole thing start to finish and how the booking process works. But yeah, no fun. But we packed it out. We sold it out. 2,000 fans showed up. And I'll tell you, who do you think sold the most tickets to this event? Now, remember, it's 2005. You got Mick Foley. You got legends Jimmy Snuka. You got Greg Valentine, Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young. The person that sold the most tickets to my event, Gail Kim. She had legitimately just dropped the WWF title. She just quit the WWF. She agreed to come to my show. It was amazing. She sold the most tickets because she was fresh off of TV. We had played it up really good. Gail Kim's bringing another girl with her to take on Moolah and Mae Young because Gail Kim and this other girl were pissed off that Moolah and Mae Young, being old women, were still taking up too much of the WWF airtime, and that's why Gail Kim quit. That was the storyline. If you want to know the real story and have fun with it, go on YouTube and search Conan O'Brien, Fabulous Moolah, and Mae Young, because they were there to promote WrestleMania until Conan found out about my show, and that's all he wanted to talk about. So get on there, Google, YouTube, Conan O'Brien, Fabulous Moolah, and Mae Young, and he'll tell you all about it, and you'll hear Fabulous Moolah talk about it, because she wrestled her last show at my show, Conway High School Gym. She had lived in Myrtle Beach for many, many, many years in the 80s and early 90s before running her camp out of Columbia. She had her kids and grandkids still live in Myrtle Beach, as a matter of fact. But she was. I mean, there's some horror stories out there, but when she worked with me, man, she was a sweetheart. She really was. She was awesome. Everybody on this card was amazing to work with. But man, it is a lot of work. So my heart goes out to Tony Hunter, to Marvin Ward, because those guys did it for a living. They did it full time. Tony Hunter did Mulberry Rec Center here in Lenoir, North Carolina. And let me tell you, he could run a good show. He had that place packed out every month. Using those guys right there, as a matter of fact. The Midnight Express, Beautiful Bobby. There's Dennis Condrey, Stan Lane, and Jim Cornette. He was there once or twice, but mostly it was Dennis and Beautiful Bobby and Stan. But yeah, shout out. Marvin did a good job up in Virginia for a while he was doing it. Tony Hunter did a great job in Lenoir while he was doing it. And I did it one time. And I got out. No thanks. But I do hope to see you guys tonight, East Lincoln High School, Lincolnton, North Carolina, for a great cause, wrestling for Rylo. I will be there. I hope to see you there. I will also be at East Rowan High School tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. 4 p.m. bell time for that one. That's an early day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're a wrestling fan. Ring the wrestling bell for notifications. Like this video. Please like the videos that are coming up from the wrestling shows, and leave great comments. I certainly do appreciate it. And maybe one day I will put some more of my wrestling photos and posters out. I just haven't. I don't know why. But thanks for watching. As they used to say on Georgia Championship Wrestling, don't miss it. Be there. See ya.